Hi, everybody. This is video number video number 5, and we're going to look at MRP and MRC in a side-by-side graph. This is actually what you have to do on your FRQ. I've posted a video of me drawing one of these from scratch that you can use to prep for that as well. Okay, so let's take a look at it. We see that we have our market and our firm side by side. The market we know because it has normal supply and demand. And just keep in mind, supply is the households, the demand is the firms. Don't get those two mixed up there. And that's where the wage is set. So if any shifting in demand or shifting in supply is going to happen over here on the market side, and that's going to impact the wage, which then we carry over here. Notice, just like our perfectly competitive product market, the wage set here, we dash it over, and that becomes our wage and our supply curve over here, right? Remember, our MRC is equal to our wage. We talked about that on the last one, right? It's because the additional cost it is to hire the next worker is the additional wage I have to pay. Makes some sense, right? And then we know this is our supply curve specifically because the suppliers are the ones getting paid, right? It's perfectly horizontal because our households can't demand a higher wage because it's a perfectly competitive market. They have the same skill, which is no skill. So if they demand a higher wage, they'll get laid off. And then the firm can't charge a lower wage than this because if they charge a lower wage than this fixed wage here, then the workers are just going to go somewhere else, right? There are several perfectly competitive firms, lots of them, right? So I can just go work somewhere else where I will get paid at least that wage, right? Then we have demand. Demand is downward sloping and equal to MRP because demand has an inverse relationship between wage and quantity. That makes some sense, right? The wages are really low, then firms are going to demand a bunch more. If wages are really high, firms are going to demand a bunch less. But MRP also has an inverse relationship. We actually saw it on the chart in the last one. Here, let me show you. Notice MRP goes up at first. Here it is, goes up at first, but then it goes down at a steady rate. Now, sometimes you'll see this MRP over here with a little tail on it. You might see it like that. Don't panic. That's fine. That's what it actually looks like. But we do a shortcut most of the time where we just have a downward sloping demand curve. Because they both have that inverse relationship, we put them together and we say that this is the same thing. Now, what do? Well, I'm going to find the quantity of people this firm is going to hire. And that quantity is going to be where MRP and MRC are equal, which is right here at equilibrium. And so I'm going to produce at QE. Now, what happens if there's a shift in one of these curves? So let's try this out. Let's say that supply goes down. Individuals are supplying less of their labor to this marketplace, okay? So we do this by shifting supply to the left, S2, right? So supply is going to the left. Any shift is going to happen in the marketplace first because then this firm takes their cue from the marketplace. So when that happens, our wage has gone up to, we'll call this wage 2. Now I'm going to dash this over very carefully and very poorly. And there we go. And now this is actually going to become our new supply equals MRC. I'm just going to put M and then an R. There we go. And then a C and then 2. Okay, now that this happened, what's going to occur? Well, first, remember, if wage changes over here, then it's going to shift the curve in the same direction. So if wage is going up, then supply is going up in the individual firm. Now, I know that I'm going to produce or I'm going to hire where the quantity is, or the quantity where MRC and MRP are equal. So at the intersection, I have a new MRC, so that intersection is right here. I dash down. This becomes my new quantity. My quantity has fallen. And because my quantity has fallen, it means that I'm going to hire fewer workers. And this makes sense. Wage is higher, fewer workers are going to be hired as a result. That's how you shift and show the change on another curve. You're going to have to do this on your FRQ, so be ready for it. All right, that's it for this video. Hope that was helpful. Talk to you later.